The 2019 whitetail deer hunting season had its share of exceptional circumstances, coming off the heels of one of the wettest and coldest Septembers on record, leading into a whopper of a blizzard on the weekend of Canadian Thanksgiving, predicted by many meteorologists, including the famous YouTuber Frenkie macdonald.
This is Frenkie macdonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major winter storm is headed towards Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Huge fan, Frenkie. This whopper unloaded about 3 feet of snow on the area, knocking out power to 53,000 residents and prompting the premier of the province to declare a local state of emergency. And it took over 2 weeks to fully restore power.
And it does take its toll on those cities, whereas our snow generally dry, and it's minus 20, minus 30. We have that first snowfall of the year, and it can be a headache. But this was a first snowfall of a year that was so wet and so devastating that I think it took a while for it to sink in.
These circumstances led to a late and extended harvest season for many farmers across Western Canada and the upper Midwestern United States. In many cases, after fighting tooth and nail against Mother Nature, the crop was buried under a blanket of snow. How this translates to the whitetail world, you might ask? Well, there is lots of feed for deer, making them unpredictable and hard to pattern. They were bedding and staying out in fields far out of range for a muzzleloader and never returning to the field edge for a close shot. Much of my muzzleloader season was spent on private property that I had been granted permission to hunt. It was a zero-till field of harvested rye that had a decent bit of regrowth, and the deer were loving it. In early November, I called in a decent 2.5-year-old from over a quarter-mile away into less than 10 yards. I did make a video of this, and I'll post the link at the end. Many people ask me why I didn't blast that deer, to which I do have a few reasons. Primarily because he wasn't a mature whitetail. One obvious fact going into this season was that the predator population seemed to be on the rise, and in a few instances, coyotes had come within muzzleloader range. Now, I didn't shoot for fear of ruining the hunt, but what would you have done? Let me know in the comments below. The high-power rifle season opened on November 11th, which is Remembrance Day, and I think the deer knew this. Like a light switch had gone off, the deer had vacated my open field of rye stubble, so I decided to shift my focus to public land along the Assiniboine River Valley. Around home, we refer to this as public land as Crown land since it belongs to the Queen of England. My favorite thing to do is hunt on my feet, getting well off the beaten path and into some gnarly terrain. Over the miles, I found many well-worn trails, good rub and scrape lines, large hoof prints and droppings. The game plan was to walk the top of ridges, glassing with my binoculars, looking for brown deer against a white snowy backdrop in the thick timber. It didn't take me long to notice a bedded doe with a decent buck not far behind.
And the buck's to the right of her. I didn't find them yet. Okay, well there's no rush. He's they're both standing still, so he's behind some really thick stuff. Once I find the one, I should be able to find the others. That's about 300 yards.
This buck appeared to us a few times, playing peekaboo in the bush. In the end, he lived to see another day, and hopefully another season. I estimate this buck to be about 3.5 years old, judging by his neck size, belly fat, and the mass of his antlers. I'd estimate him to score in the high 120s. Let me know what you think he'd score, and if he's a shooter in your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel so that when part 2 comes out, you'll be the first to know. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm your Outdoorsman Al.